news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online 24 hours a day.
John Prater here, your new country financial agent at 320 East Van Buren in Clinton. I'd love to meet you as I get connected to the Clinton community. Find out more by clicking on my icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Connexus will provide local, reliable, affordable, and speed-of-light fiber internet to Clinton. Get on the install list now by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Fiber internet is coming to Clinton. Get on the install list now.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
News time is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Tuesday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast. We stream to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Clinton High School has gone dark and will stay that way for the next few months. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Clinton High School Principal Jerry Wayne told Regional Radio it has been a strange start to the summer at the high school as they await some electrical work to be done.
It's been a strange start to the summer, but probably for the last 2 years we knew this was coming up, but we have a electrical switchgear, which is the main hub that provides power to our building, was becoming faulty, and we knew that was going on. So for the last 2 years, we've been planning on it, getting the equipment necessary to be able to replace that, and now this summer is when they have to do it. But in order for that to happen, all power has to be shut off to the building, which means we can't be housed in there at all. And then they have some pretty significant amount of work to be able to get the old switchgear out and the new switchgear back in. And so they cut power on May 28th, and they are hopeful that we'll have power back on July 29th. Hopefully everything goes as planned. Always, anytime you're doing anything with construction and stuff, it makes you nervous about whether or not it's going to be on time. And obviously we start getting to the end of July, we're starting to push towards the start of the next school year, which makes me even more nervous about that, because obviously we won't have been able to do anything in the building, specifically in the building at all, until that power ends up coming back on. But
in the meantime, Wayne indicates access to certain things is going to be limited for him and his staff. He sent out a reminder to parents a while back, but reminds some things requested by students or parents may have to wait.
I'm confident things will go the way that they need to go, and we'll be able to kind of get ready for the next school year in the time that we have, and be ready to go. So it's been definitely interesting and strange to not be able to be in the building. So, if we have listeners out there that are looking to try to get stuff from the high school, I've sent out information to all families way ahead of time, probably 2-3 weeks prior to the end of this past school year. But you won't be able to call. You won't be able to do any of that visiting the high school. There won't be anything in there at that point in time. Like I said, I'm housed at Clinton Academy for the next couple of weeks to be able to try to answer as many questions as I can and try to provide as much service to people as I possibly can. But there may be some restrictions on what we're able to actually do compared to what we would have been able to do if we were in the building for the time being. So just be aware of that. If there's something that needs to happen, you can obviously reach out via email, and we'll try to answer those emails and do what we can to try to help you out.
According to Wayne, there is not a lot being impacted by the power situation at the high school. Some sports programs are having to adjust and make other arrangements, but the learning side has adapted to go remote thanks to COVID.
For the last 2 to 3 years, we've been doing a fair amount of summer school for students that wish to do that.
Okay.
And that has been impacted from the perspective of, obviously, we couldn't offer any in-person summer school. But as a part of that, the result of, if you go back to even when COVID started, one of the, I guess, positives out of it is we found different ways to be able to educate kids if we have to. And so one of the things we have is we have some online programs that we've got access to and are still able to provide the opportunity for kids if they want to take some summer school classes that still have good curriculum matching to what we would do normally in person. Obviously the downside is that they don't have any that personal interaction. They don't have the connections that are going to end up going on that we normally would want. But it still does provide the students with an opportunity to be able to catch up on some credits that maybe they're a little bit behind on. We're trying to make sure we stay as consistent as we can be, just knowing that hopefully everybody is understanding and provide some grace with the fact that we just aren't going to be able to do all of what we might normally do because we just don't have the facility that's available to be able to do some of that stuff.
Elsewhere on campus, the community may have noticed the football field at the high school has taken on a more open look. Turf installation is underway at Sprague Field. The DeWitt County Development Council is prepared to begin its next round of grants for small businesses. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, DCDC Executive Director Kurt Holman told Regional Radio they will have about $14,000 available for local businesses to take advantage of.
Well, we're hopping into our summer prep time, and we're thrilled to announce we're going to be starting our second round of grants. So watch our Facebook and website in about a week, have those kicked off officially, but we'll have at least $14,000 to share this time. And again, those funds come from the DeWitt County, some ARPA funds that were set aside for grant usage. Last time Farmer City and Clinton kicked in some funds. We hope maybe they do, but we don't have any of that confirmed for this time. But we should have at least $14,000 that we'll be passing out roughly July, August time.
Holman indicates one of the benefits of having multiple grant opportunities in a calendar year is if previous applicants did not receive funding, they can take advantage of the opportunity this time around.
More business projects again. So it could be equipment, it could be marketing item, it could be, again, as always, it can't be operating expenses, so it can't be to pay your power bill or insurance premiums or those types of things. Something ideally that helps your business expand and grow. It gets more and more challenging for prior winners to win in follow-up times, but it certainly has happened. And they just, they really need to focus their project and really sell it a little bit more. That being said, we actually last grant cycle, we did ask a couple of them to reapply. They were just a little too early in their project. So I know those projects have progressed. So, we expect there'll be a couple of great applications with projects that have gotten a little bit further down the road.
Nice.
And we really want to see the business operational. So someone that's opening up a business in a year, as an example, may apply for some grant funds to get things working in the building or whatever it is at a very early stage, and we want to see it. Typically, we want to see it a little bit further along, so they're ready to open in essence, or close to it.
The panel put together for this round of grant funding wants to know how a project or piece of equipment will positively impact the business.
It's pretty easy. We try to make it easy, but we do need some financial data. We need some projections. If it's a new business, we need some projections on projected revenues, projected expenses. If it's an existing business, we need some past history. The reason we do that is we want to make sure that business is going to be around. We can't guarantee that any business is going to be around, but we don't want to go into it, here's $5,000 and 30 days later the business shuts its doors. So we need to have some of that. But realistically, most of it is tell us about your project, tell us how it's going to positively impact your business and potentially your customers and potentially the county or the city or whatever it is. I mean, that's the crux of the application.
Holman hopes to have the details of the grants put out on the DCDC's Facebook page by the end of the week. The University of Illinois Extension is in the process of moving locations in DeWitt County. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, 4-H coordinator for Extension in DeWitt County, Kendra Wallace, told Regional Radio the move to the space inside of Flower Corner is going to offer more access to those in the community that may not be able to get to the highway from their homes.
We are switching locations. We're moving out off of 51 to the building that houses the Flower Corner right across from the Casey's on 54. I just think it's going to give us a little better sight. Yes, you could still see us out there on 51, but being in town and giving us a more accessible location for kids maybe who don't have transportation as well.
Because the space is being renovated, Wallace hopes by the end of the month they will be in the new offices. Another cool wet week in Illinois offered limited windows for producers to be in the fields. While planting continued to move forward, producers remain behind the yearly and 5-year averages. State crop statistician Mark Schleusner breaks down soybeans, which have started to emerge.
Temperatures were below normal, but rainfall was above normal last week in Illinois. Temperatures averaged 65.9 degrees across the state, and that was 1.4 degrees below normal. Precipitation averaged 1.24 inches, and that was slightly more than 1/4 inch above normal. There were 4.2 days suitable for fieldwork around the state last week, and topsoil moisture declined to be rated 7% short, 71 adequate, and 22% surplus. Soybean planting advanced by 9 points and reached 81% finished, compared to 73 for the 5-year average. 58% of soybean acres have emerged compared to 59 normally. The first soybean condition rating of the year shows 7% of soybean acres in very poor to poor condition. 28% of acres are in fair condition, and 65% of Illinois soybean acres are in good to excellent condition.
According to Schleusner, emergence of the corn crop is in line with last year, and the condition of the crop improved from last week.
Corn planting reached 89% finished. That compares to 84 for the 5-year average. 78% of corn acres have emerged, and that is 3 points ahead of normal pace. Corn conditions improved and were rated 4% very poor to poor, 24 fair, and 72% good to excellent. That is also better than 1 year ago.
Winter wheat improved from a week ago, and Schleusner has an update on hay and pasture conditions.
The Illinois winter wheat crop is now 96% headed compared to 92 normally. The condition of the crop improved from 1 week ago and was rated 5% very poor to poor, 22 fair, and 73% good to excellent. That is better than 1 year ago. The first cutting of alfalfa hay is now 62% finished, and other hay is 47% harvested. Finally, pasture conditions improved a little and were rated 1% poor, 11 fair, and 88% good to excellent. That is also better than 1 year ago.
As some producers continue to look for windows of opportunity to plant, Schleusner reminds we'll continue to see implements on the roadways until planting is complete in Illinois. Approaching the Illinois FFA convention in Springfield later this month, and current state FFA president Thaddeus Bergschneider has advice for those seeking a state office.
Be yourself. If you're not yourself and you get elected, then you're playing somebody else. And at the end of the day, if you're yourself and you don't get elected, you can live with that. But if you're not, then that's something you're going to have to deal with. So be yourself, search deep, know why you want to serve Illinois FFA and its members, and just go share that on stage.
Bergschneider hails from the Franklin FFA chapter. The Illinois FFA convention is June 11th through the 13th in Springfield. Thousands plan to flock to the Bloomington Normal area to attend the 3-day Special Olympics Summer Games this weekend. The competitions will take place primarily at Illinois State University, with host sites at Grossinger Motors Arena, Normal Community High School, and Kingsley Junior High School. Pete Beal del Vecchico is Special Olympics Illinois' president and chief executive officer.
Our vision really is, in addition to sport, is to promote inclusion so that we have people both with and without intellectual disabilities really integrated into the community and coming together. And that's really what we're about as a movement, not only here in Illinois, but across the world. Every hotel, all of the restaurants get that impact of us bringing 15,000 people to the area. So the businesses love it, and they're all super supportive. We have a number of the restaurants are big big supporters and sponsors for us throughout the weekend. And as you said, beyond the economic impact, it really is that social impact of promoting inclusion and community engagement.
The 3-day games kick off with a welcoming ceremony Friday night at Hancock Stadium on ISU's campus. More than 3,000 athletes from 13 states are expected to compete in the 3-day event. Cicadas have been serenading us for weeks now, and they're expected to go dormant again by the middle of the summer. An expert with OSF Healthcare tells us while they may be annoyingly loud, they are not dangerous to humans, pets, or crops. Brian Curtis, the Vice President of Clinical Specialty Services with OSF Healthcare, says they may gross you out, though.
The biggest risk is they could pee on you, but I think that's about the limit of it. I think that they have the ability, I think I read that they have the strongest urination stream out of all animals for their size.
Cicada's eggs will hatch after 6 to 10 weeks, and the cicada nymphs will burrow in the ground, attaching to a tree's roots. They will remain dormant underground anywhere from 2 to 17 years, depending on the species, according to the National Geographic. News time, 22 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Tuesday. Get the latest in local news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
RWE Clean Energy, building long-term partnership with the communities where we all live and operate. Invite you and your family to the 2024 edition of the Macon County Fair, happening this Wednesday through Sunday at the fairgrounds just off West Route 121 in Decatur. It's 5 days of agriculture and entertainment. Wednesday is Senior Citizens Day with horticulture and related exhibits in the Ag Expo building by 1 p.m. for judging, harness racing at 4, and the Queen Pageants at 7. Thursday has more livestock and culinary judging, and the Marshall Tucker Band that night at 7. Friday at the Macon County Fair is Teacher and Education Appreciation Day with a rodeo that night at 6. Saturday is Veterans Day with livestock shows